I now want to shift focus to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's at the moment in Russia. These are images that are coming of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let's listen in.
Okay, that's the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, being accorded a ceremonial welcome after a successful and fruitful trip to Germany with very positive interactions with the German Chancellor Angela Merkel. The Prime Minister reaching Russia, where he is going to be holding bilateral talks with President Vladimir Putin. The Prime Minister has already landed in Russia. As you can see, he's been given the ceremonial welcome. He is at Russia's St Petersburg. It's going to be an exceptionally significant trip being made by the Prime Minister to Russia, a visit that expected to be hugely crucial for India's largest nuclear power plant, especially Kundakolam, and the last two units of that plant that are going to be built in collaboration with a Russian company. So this is a meeting that is going to assume a lot of significance, a meeting between the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Russian President Vladimir Putin, which is also expected to help boost trade between both the nations and also probably resolve a few tensions with regards to Pakistan, a traditional ally of India. Russia has been in the news lately for its close ties with China and Pakistan. So this visit by the Indian Prime Minister assumes a lot of significance. The Indian Prime Minister there being given the ceremonial welcome before he goes on to meet the Russian President Vladimir Putin. In fact, just before he landed, the Prime Minister also tweeted saying that he has reached the historic city of St Petersburg and looks forward to a fruitful visit aimed at cementing India-Russia relations. And that's the most important, most significant part of his tweet. He looks forward to a very fruitful and positive discussion with the Russian President Vladimir Putin at the time of much tension and turmoil at the line of control between India and Pakistan. The Prime Minister's visit begins with a visit to the cemetery, which is a memorial for 500,000 Russians. And we are getting to see that being played out on our screens right now. We have with us Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant joining us for more on this. And Gaurav, we are seeing that visit, to the cemetery, which is a memorial for 500,000 Russians killed during World War II. The Prime Minister making his presence felt. And this visit also assumes much significance, isn't it, between India and Russia ties?
There's a big push to revitalize the age-old ties between India and Russia. So as Prime Minister Narendra Modi lands in Russia, he'd be meeting the Russian President Vladimir Putin. This is an annual summit. What we expect is, nuclear energy will be big. So an agreement for the Kudankulan power plant with Moscow's help, that is extremely crucial at this point of time. A number of other agreements are also in the pipeline. So science and technology is one area. Railways is another area. Business to business vision. That's important in this visit. And as we are also being told by the government that a vision statement will be released. What is the way that India-Russia relationship will move forward from this point on? That will be extremely critical during this visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Russia, Avantika.
And also, an attempt by the Indian side to try and get Russia onto its side with regards to the ongoing tensions at the line of control between both India and Pakistan. And, the way Russia and China has also been very instrumental in what's been going on at the border between the two nations. This is going to be an important part of the talks as well, isn't it, Gaurav?
So, there's been a desperate attempt by Pakistan to rope in Russia along with China on Afghanistan and also on China's road project. And Russia too thinks that engaging with the Taliban may just work to end the trouble in this area, especially in Afghanistan. India has constantly been sensitizing Russia about it. Russia was deeply engaged in Afghanistan, decades ago. And engaging with Taliban is not the best option, is what India is telling Russia.
Yes.
There's a very, very big, intelligence cooperation that's underway. And, Pankaj Saran, India's ambassador to Russia, he said that, look, there's a big mutual trust and personal chemistry between the two countries and the two leaders. And that is what is expected to take this relationship forward. So the Prime Minister arrived in St Petersburg. And, then this is a 3-day visit. This is extremely, extremely crucial, the annual summit between India and Russia.
Oh, absolutely. And, Gaurav, the Prime Minister's visit to Germany, in fact, was, said to be extremely productive and constructive. There were just so many things that were discussed from nuclear technology, defense and business. Speaking of his visit to Russia, trade will also be at the forefront of talks, isn't it? With, trade along with Russia, down since the year 2014 to $7.8 billion. So that one is expecting to be at the forefront of talks as well.
Absolutely. The aim is to take it to $30 billion in the next 5 years, down to $7.8 billion from $10 billion in 2014. So, the aim is to ensure that trade ties improve, defense ties improve, counter-terrorism cooperation improves. So this is a relationship that's undergone a series of changes since 1947. Like they say, it was extremely strong in 1971, when Pakistan was divided into two and Bangladesh was born. Russia has always stood by India.
Yes.
The relationship has gone through, some ups and downs. Now the aim is, in the field of, for example, energy cooperation or telecommunication or science and technology. That is where India and Russia hope to take the relationship forward, apart from nuclear energy and defense cooperation.
And very quickly, Gaurav, India also stands along Russia when it comes to fighting terror, because Russia as well has been impacted by terrorists, by militant organization and, those deadly terror attacks that have been seen in Russia.
Oh, absolutely. Whether it's Chechnya or Islamic terror from elsewhere, Russia has been a victim of terror, but Russia has also combated terror very strongly. And that is where India is telling Russia that, engaging with Taliban, there is no good Taliban, is India's message to Russia.
Okay.
How it's communicated remains to be seen in terms of whether Russia understands that, or under Chinese and Pakistani influence, there is a little slowdown as far as that, that aspect of the relationship is concerned, Avantika.
Right, Gaurav, thank you so much for joining us and just taking us through these visuals that we're getting to see right now. The Prime Minister there at St Petersburg. We'll continue to update our viewers with the very latest about the Prime Minister's trip to Russia.